was actually my breakfast. Yes, we're not at McDonald's today. We decided to eat at the hotel. We wanted to get as early a start as possible because we have a lot of stuff to do today. Our first stop is going to be the fish market, Tsukiji Fish Market. And then we're going to a place called Donk, which we'll show you. I don't think we've shown you Donk yet. And then back to the hotel here. And we got to do more errand type stuff this afternoon. So we're just having a breakfast down here in the lobby. And then we're going to head out. And I guess we kind of disappeared last night. When was the last video? I think me talking about karaoke. We got back to the hotel and crashed. So I'm not sure what today and yesterday's videos are going to be like. Maybe there'll be one video. We'll see how the footage comes out. But I'm just going to eat this breakfast and we're going to get out of here. Alright, we made it to Tsukiji Market. There's some accident or something over here and there's a guy yelling non-stop. So I'm not sure if this footage is going to be useful, but this is the entrance we always come to because it's sort of along the way from where our hotel is. I'm not sure if this is the main entrance or the best entrance, but this is where we come. And if you go into the left side, into the leftmost entranceway, there's a green painted pathway. If you follow that green painted pathway, you'll get right to the vendor stalls. So let's go in and take a quick look. It's so easy to forget that this is an active place of trade when you're just wandering around the area where there's stalls. But you really got to pay attention because they zip around here on their little buggies, taking fish from place to place, or people buying fish and taking it back to their restaurants, and they're just not in the mood to wait around for you. So you really got to keep aware of your surroundings if you come here and try not to get in the way because people are trying to do business here. You can find a wealth of products here at the market if you're shopping for certain specific things. In the past, we have bought a set of kitchen knives here, like a chef knife, a paring knife. You can get all kinds of food products. We often come here to buy seaweed for making sushi rolls. And we recently ran out, so we're going to be stocking up today. That's the main reason why we came here actually today. Because I feel like we don't need to come here. We've been here in the past. We come here every trip. This trip and last trip was mainly to buy supplies to bring home, like the knives and seaweed and whatnot. But there's all kinds of stuff you can get. Pickles, tea, sesame seeds, things for the kitchen. We also bought a huge bamboo rice, or maybe it's not bamboo, big wooden rice mixer for making sushi rice. So there's an area where there's all the stalls. You can get all that kinds of stuff. And I think historically they used to sell stuff to support the trade. There's also a ton of restaurants over there selling like mostly sushi type stuff, like really fresh fish, and all the restaurants are jammed. We're not even here in prime time. It's 10:30 now, so the main rush of the market is dying down already, but the tourists are still here. So now we've come to the area where all of the product, the fresh product, wholesaling I think is happening. And there's a ton of stuff, a lot of weird stuff here that you can come and see. But it was over in the other section where they sell some produce type stuff where I first saw fresh wasabi and what it looks like. And it's kind of like, it's like horseradish. And when you get good wasabi at a restaurant, it's really just grated wasabi root. It's not that pasty stuff you usually get. And it just, when you put it in the soy sauce, it just falls apart into little bits because that's all it is grated wasabi. But yeah, so I'll show you a few things here. Nicole is mentioning that she feels like people here are getting a little jaded with all the tourists, and I just got yelled at for taking some footage. So maybe she's right. Not as friendly as they used to be. I can remember when we were here in 2007, it was nowhere near this busy, and we were walking around the same time near the closing and people were cleaning up. And they were quite friendly, actually. I remember one guy was carving up a big fish, probably a tuna, it's probably a tuna, and he let me hold his knives. And I posed for pictures with his huge, massive knives. I'll put those up right here so you can see them. But yeah, like this area here, tourists aren't buying anything. It's all like really crazy, fresh stuff for restaurants or stores. It's not really a place tourists need to be, I guess. I say as I'm a tourist walking around, but it's cool stuff to see. I mean, you can come here and see some really interesting stuff, but yeah, people don't seem as friendly as they used to be. Amongst all this madness, which is the market here, there's a shrine, and the shrine is just tucked off into the side. Is this a little one? This has got a stone torii and a couple of lions, and it's just a little shrine here, and it is the Tsukiji Shrine, and Tsukiji is the water god. So that's kind of fitting, I guess, that they have a water god shrine here at the fish market, where the fishermen can come and the salesmen can come and sort of pay their respects to the god that helps make what they do possible. But yeah, this place is just madness. We didn't spend too much time in the area where they're selling all the fresh fish and fresh like various things from the sea, crabs and scallops and uni and all that kind of stuff. It just didn't feel very welcoming, and I guess that's to be expected. I guess as more and more people start crowding in here, as people are trying to do their jobs, probably there's a bit of frustration, I would imagine. There was a lot of no photography signs. I don't remember a single one when we were here in 2007. And the throngs of people are insane. I'm really shocked. But yeah, I feel like this market really, the market around the core of the actual fish market, where they're selling kitchenwares and fresh, like some produce type stuff, like the wasabi and the restaurants, all that was all really, I felt like there just to support the main market. When we came in 2007, there was a lot less touristy kind of souvenir-y type stuff, but there's a lot more of that now. Like you could go and find a place that all they sold were rubber boots, like the rubber boots that all the men are wearing in the market. I assume that most of the restaurants here were to support them, and go work for the morning and then come and have a meal. So yeah, it's changed. It's noticeably changed since we were here. What is it? It's almost 10 years now. 9 years ago. And I guess we didn't spend that much time here in 2012. So we maybe got seaweed and left. Like, I don't think we walked around the main area too much. We just came, got in, got out, because there was nothing for us new to see here. And this time I just kind of walked around a bit more than last because I wanted to make some video footage for this video. This is probably the most touristy thing we're going to do today, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go find Nicole. She's hunting down a seaweed merchant to buy our nori for our sushi, and I think that's all we're getting here, and then we're taking off. So let's go find Nicole. All right, we made our first seaweed purchase. Got it from this place. And now we're gonna go try another vendor. So we're gonna stock up from 2 different places just to try different stuff. Where's the other place? All right, we acquired our second batch of nori, and so we are out of here. We're gonna book it and get the heck out of here before someone runs us over. All right, we finished at the fish market. That racket that was going on when we got there, It was going on when we left, and it was a guy protesting, we think. There was a van parked out front of a building, which just happened to be across the street from where this accident I mentioned was at. And the guy was just going on and on non-stop. We have no idea what he's saying. I tried to use Google Translate to get him, but it didn't work. So yeah, no idea what was all up in arms on. But yeah, I feel like I was slightly negative about the fish market when we were walking around, and I don't want to dissuade you. If you've never been, you should definitely go and check it out. Just be cautious of your surroundings and be aware that these people, this is their job, and that they're trying to do their job while surrounded by tourists. So I would get cranky too if I was constantly being interrupted trying to do what I got to do at work, and there are just tons of tourists around all the time. So definitely you should check it out because it is really cool. What goes on there is insane. The amount of activity, just non-stop, and all the crazy fish and creatures from the sea that are there on offer are really pretty cool and sometimes slightly scary to see. But so yeah, don't let me dissuade you. I'm a little jaded. I've been there several times and seen it change, and you know, seen what the touristy stuff is. And now when we just go to pick up some supplies. Next on the list is lunch, and we're going to a special place for lunch that we went to, I think last visit in 2012. What do you think it was, 2012 or 2009? Probably 2012. And it's a Chinese restaurant, and Nicole really wanted to go back here, and I'm fine with that because it was really good. And there's another ulterior motive for us wanting to go to this restaurant. This restaurant's owned by a chef, Kenichi, and certain people might recognize that name. Most of you probably don't recognize that name, but he was one of the Iron Chefs. He was Iron Chef Chinese, the Szechuan Sage. Iron Chef. Let's talk about that in a second. Iron Chef was this crazy Japanese show that I stumbled upon somehow when I was in university. So it must have been like 97 maybe. I think it was probably repeats that were playing on the Food Network, dubbed into English. And I was just like blown away, like what is this? I had never seen anything like that before. So the premise of the show is, well, let's get into that later. I think they're ready to seat us. We found the restaurant, and they seated us, and we ordered. First challenge was they didn't have an English menu, but Google Translate helped us out quite a bit, and we found 2 dishes that we wanted to try, and they have just come down to the table. So one of them is mapao tofu, like a spicy tofu like I had at that Chinese restaurant. Where were we? Were we in Osaka still? I think we're still in Osaka. No, we were here. Yeah, we were here. Yeah, a few days ago, I guess. And then a oyster beef with, looks like green onions, but it was garlic something, and the garlic stems in the translation. So Nicole is ready to dive in. What are you going to try first?
I tried the beef. Well, I tried the soup first. It doesn't look very good, but it's really tasty. And I can gobble this up on my own, no problem. But maybe presentation-wise, don't judge it based on presentation, because it is good.
So what else are you going to try?
Try the beef.
Try the beef.
Should I complain about the size on camera or off of camera? Guess
Off camera.
I can see why we always, well, not always, but I can see why we've made this special trip to come here. It's a bit out of the way, but it's very, very good. This is something I could try as I might. I would never, ever be able to recreate at home. I don't know what's going on in there, but there's some kind of magic going on.
It smells really good.
Yeah, it's really delicious. Now, if only they would double the portion. The beef is really good. I'm trying to film and gobble up the beef at the same time.
Let's give this a try. That's got some heat. I'm definitely going to be red in the face very, very soon, but it's really good. I mean, it's totally different than the one I had a couple days ago. It's a little more sour.
It's definitely a lot spicier, a little bit more oily, which I think is how they cook in the spice.
Which one do you like more?
I like this one more in terms of flavor, but in terms of how my tongue is going to feel soon, I like the other one more. But no, this one's much better quality. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's like magic that goes on in there. Those people in there are trained, and they are.
Well, they were trained by an Iron Chef.
Oh gosh, shoot! Yeah.
All right, let's eat before it all gets cold. Yeah, I've got into the beef. Nicole's right; it's really, really good. I agree with her. The beef is so well prepared. Look how thin they've cut the beef.
And so uniformly.
Yeah, so uniformly thin. They're like beef noodles. It's really, really good. The oyster sauce is subtle. It's like a lot of times I'll get an oyster dish, like an oyster sauce dish, and the oyster sauce is really prevalent, but it's not so prevalent here, would you say?
Yeah, I was going to say also that oyster sauce with beef is a dish that we get quite often, and it's never tasted like this or anywhere near the level of deliciousness of this place. It's not like somebody's in the back with the bottle of oyster sauce is drowning.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Amazing.
And these are not green onions, these are something else. And I was trying to taste them really carefully and figure out how I would explain them, but I came up empty. Maybe they're just like a bit more earthier of an onion. Like they got a little bit of onion, but it's a really earthy onion.
Is it a chive?
I don't think it's chive.
It's also.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's good.
It's pretty late in the day and lunch service has closed, and the restaurant is still pretty busy, so it just kind of shows how good the food is and how people come out of their way to eat here, because this restaurant is in a nondescript office building and the building is on a nondescript street. There might be stuff, I don't know, a few streets over, I'm not sure, but like if you're coming to eat here, you are coming to eat here. You didn't find this place
by accident. Yeah. And when we first came here last time, it took us a while to find it. Like it was very unobvious that it was in this building. This building does not look like a building that has a restaurant in it. And we even went up. There's 2 floors. It's on the 5th and 6th floor. We went up to the 5th floor first, and it was deserted. And we're like, oh man, they closed down. And then we decided, let's just check the 6th floor, and that's where the action was. And same today, except they had some banquets going on the 5th floor today. So yeah, Nicole's right. It's a little bit. You have to know it's here and come here for this restaurant. You don't just wander around and happen upon it and be like, "Ooh, let's eat there." You're coming here. You're coming to this place with a purpose. I was talking to the waiter a bit. His English is pretty good, and I was asking him if Iron Chef Kenichi ever comes into the office. Well, I guess it's his office, but into the restaurant anymore. And he didn't understand me at first, but then he understood finally that I was talking about the Iron Chef, and he said yes. He was here yesterday, and we're like, what? We missed him by a day? That's not cool. I would have totally loved to have a picture with him. That would have been so neat.
He was greeting his fans and waving about.
Yeah, he was waving to his customers.
Man, that would have been so awesome.
Yeah.
If I seen him, I would have been like, give me a bigger portion.
I honestly thought the answer was going to be no, but that's shocking and pretty awesome that he still comes in. So yeah, we're just going to finish this up and get out of here on to the next destination. So back to Iron Chef. The premise of the show was that there were 4 chefs called the Iron Chefs, and they were always on the show. There was an Iron Chef Japanese, Iron Chef French, Iron Chef Chinese, and Iron Chef Italian. And the restaurant we were just at, Iron Chef Kenichi's restaurant, he was Iron Chef Chinese, obviously. And they, as I said earlier, I guess he was the Szechuan Sage. That was his nickname on the show. So there was always a guest chef that would come on, and they would be the challenger. So they would get to choose who they wanted to battle against out of the 4 Iron Chef. And each battle had a theme ingredient. And so all the dishes that were made for the whole battle had to be made with that ingredient. And so each chef, the Iron Chef that the challenger had challenged, and the challenger
they would make a whole menu of dishes with that ingredient and then present it to a panel of judges. And now the judges were, there was one guy who was always there. He was a commentator. He was, he ran a culinary school or something like that. So he kind of knew what he was talking about. And then there was like a couple celebrity guests on, and they would be judges as well. So at the end of the show, they had an hour to do all of this cooking, and then they would present their dishes, and the judges would pick a winner. And so Kenichi was interesting because he was the only Iron Chef that was there from the pilot, from day one till the last episode. And it ran, I don't remember how many years, it started in like 93 to 99, I think, 309 episodes. So yeah, it was a really fun show. It was just kind of outrageous, like the way it was dubbed and sort of the antics of some of the people on the show. There were announcers that would go down into the kitchen. There was two sort of mirror image kitchens side by side that were open, and you could see all the action that was going on, and sometimes the ingredients were really weird, obviously, and so seeing that was kind of cool. Just like, wow, it was really an eye-opener for me.
This is the time period before all the kitchen battle shows that came out eventually. This is when the time where someone just stood in front of a counter and cooked you a dish, and that was a cooking show. So this format was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah, that's true actually. I didn't think about that. Not only was it crazy because it was this Japanese thing, and I didn't know much about Japan or their culture and all that kind of stuff, but Food Network Canada, which is where I found the show, was typically at that point still instructional shows. Like, it was about teaching you how to cook. It hadn't evolved into this reality TV craze of finding the next big chef or the next television chef or whatever. So this was pretty unique in that sense as well. Good point, Nicole.
Yeah.
So
all that good food went to my brain and did positive things.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and see if I can find that anywhere, because I actually kind of miss it now. Feeling a bit nostalgic for that show. But we're trying to figure out where we're going. Double tap the blue bar. We are heading to Tokyo Midtown, so this way. The original show, if you ever get a chance to see it, and that sort of sounds like it might appeal to you, definitely check it out. It was a lot of fun. And back then, there's no way I don't think I ever thought I would come to Japan, let alone go to one of those Iron Chefs restaurants in Japan. Like, that just, that thought hadn't even occurred to me. At that point in high school, in university, traveling wasn't even a thing for me. It wasn't until early 2000s when Nicole kind of forced my hand into traveling that I got the travel bug, and we just started traveling from there. So yeah, it's pretty cool that we got to come and try an Iron Chef's restaurant. So that's Iron Chef for you. All right, we walked up from lunch to Midtown Tokyo. Oh no, Tokyo Midtown. Let's get it right. And it's this really neat shopping complex. There's a lot of interesting clothing stores, a lot of brands I've never heard of. Not that that is really saying much, but the top floor has a really cool floor with a lot of interesting stores. Like, there's some kitchen stores. There's a lot of house stuff, a lot of like knickknacks and cool things for your store. Like, there's a really good store selling headphones and speakers and furniture. And yeah, there's really neat stuff to look at, get ideas for things for home, pick up the odd thing. I don't know, we'll see what we do. Last time we picked up a few things up in the kitchen store. So Nicole's gonna meander around the clothing stores, the first couple floors, and I'm going to tail behind her or sit in the man seat. That's the nice thing about these malls. They always have man seats. So I just rest my feet, and then we'll go up to the top floor, and then I'll have some fun looking with her at all the home stuff. Okay, we've done the store. Picked out a few things upstairs that we're gonna pick up, but first we decided to come down to the basement where the food is. I forgot about the food floor. That was one of the things Nicole really wanted to come here for, was they have a really neat grocery store with some good stuff. It's a little bit of a higher end grocery store, so they have some really good soy sauces and whatnot, and I think that's one of the things she wants to pick up. So we came down here to just look around. They also have a bunch of different shops. There's some restaurants down here, so we'll probably find dinner down here. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's this really crazy fruit store. Crazy in the sense that it's expensive, like crazy expensive. Like there's a box of white strawberries here for I think it's like 16,000 yen, which is almost 200 Canadian dollars right now for 12 strawberries. I mean, they're white. I'm assuming they're edible white. I have no idea. What else did they have? They had other strawberries a little bit more reasonable at 10,000 yen, which is about 120, 125 dollars for another 12 strawberries. So I'm not sure what's going on here with this crazy designer fruit. Maybe that's what it is. There's like designer clothes upstairs, and when you're done buying your designer clothes, you can come down and buy some designer fruit. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now, but it is kind of cool to see this shop. It must just be a gift type thing where you're buying something as a gift for somebody to show appreciation, maybe, or like the other department store we found with the whole food gift floor for winter gifts, which is a thing here in Japan. One of the things that was really neat in that store, though, even though it was crazy expensive, was cantaloupes. So they had a couple cantaloupes. I think they're like 88,000 yen, which is about close to $100 for a cantaloupe. But they showed you pictures of it being planted. So you see a little seed being planted, and then it goes and shows you it as a sapling, and then transplanted to be in a bigger pot, and then the flower of the fruit, and then the fruit developing, and then the cantaloupe, and how they hang it on the plant, which I don't really know what a cantaloupe plant looks like. I only saw a little bit of the picture, but they kind of support it with a red rope to hold up the fruit. And when you buy it at this store, the stem comes attached, and the stem looks like a T, but $100. So I don't know. Interesting to see these customs here in Japan of designer fruit. So we're gonna run into this grocery store and pick up some stuff, and then we'll see what else we get up to here at Tokyo Midtown.
I'm not really into malls or shopping in general, but I do like coming to this Tokyo Midtown a lot. A lot of stores that they have here are I find very original, and they have stores that focus on good design or made in Japan, or products that have won awards. And this time I picked up some goodies, and I think they're winners. Yay! It's that time of the night where we have to figure out how we're gonna get from place A to place B. Do you think Scotty has a machine that can beam us places?
He does, but he's fictional, so that's no help to us because we're not fictional.
Oh no!
As best we know. Okay, so we just want to take the Oedo line, one station, E23 to E24, and then we got to switch to the Ginza line for 2 stations, from G04 to G02.
Got it, dude.
Okay, so dinner here was a bust. There weren't really restaurants. We thought there were restaurants, but they're actually just sort of food stalls, and it had little small cafes or small, I guess cafes, small little eating areas out front, so there wasn't like a real proper restaurant. So we're gonna go to the Omote Sando area. Probably said that totally wrong, but Omote Sando area, and there's a sushi place there we scoped out, so we're gonna hopefully get a seat there. So we just gotta take a couple subways and we'll be there. But this stuff is heavy. This bag here is, all our groceries are in one bag. My hand is gonna fall off. Okay, we made it back to Harajuku area. It was pretty straightforward. We had to Nicole spotted the metro sign from a distance and asked me, is that the metro? And I could not read it, but luckily some guys were walking by and I asked them and they pointed. So it was it. So good job, Nicole, spotting the sign. And we got on the train, no problem. Now we're at the Meiji Jingumiya station. And we're just exiting to head to this 100 yen store. And then I don't know, we'll see what time it is. It's getting close to 8. So we'll either get the shopping done and head back and then find food near our hotel, or we'll try this sushi restaurant. Well, it depends how much damage we do at the dollar store and how much crap we have with us. So we'll see. So almost there. So was a pretty successful trip. There's only one thing I was looking for that I didn't find, but everything else we found, and we stashed our crap in a locker because we rushed to this sushi place on Motosando that we wanted to hit. So we were waiting for a table.
This place is packed.
Yeah, it's very busy. We're next in line. Hopefully people leave soon so we can sit down and eat. And then we gotta go back to the locker, collect our stuff, and head home. So we'll show you the locker. It's kind of funny. Dinner done. That was really good. That place was so good. Another conveyor belt sushi, song conveyor. They turned it off after we sat down pretty much, but I think the trick is if you come to one of these, just order off the menu. Don't grab off the conveyor belt because they'll make you stuff fresh. I feel like it's a noob mistake to order. I mean, just to pull off the conveyor belt. Like, we didn't realize that the first time we went to conveyor sushi, and we figured that out very quickly, that just leave that stuff and order off the menu. So now we are racing back to get our bag from the locker because we are cold. It's quite cold now. And then we're heading home because it's packing time. Are you excited? It's time to pack up and get ready to go. But I think there's more food in our future because I'm still hungry. That was really good, hit the spot, but the spot has a little bit of extra space, so we will pick up something probably and do it in the room maybe. I don't know, we'll see. We're back at the lockers. They are conveniently located right across from Daiso. There is our rental locker, rental coin locker. Basically, how this works is you find a locker with a green light on it. So, like this one for example, you put all your stuff in there, close it, and you press this down, and it locks, and then this thing starts yelling at you. Basically what it's saying is, pick your locker that you've put your stuff into, so you press that, and then you put your money in here, and then it's going to spit out a ticket. And you scan it. So we want to pick up our bags, and we have a ticket. Otherwise you could have used your Passimo card, and I guess they would have known by your Passimo card to unlock your locker. So we're going to scan our QR code here. And then it has unlocked our locker and it is flashing. So now we know where our locker is. And it's jammed full of stuff. So that was really handy because there's a lot of stuff in there, as you'll see. And we had to rush to that restaurant because they were closing. And doing that with all these bags would have been a real pain. Like taking the train right now is going to be a real pain. But where the heck did Nicole go? I'm going to find Nicole. I have lost Nicole. Don't know where she went. There she is. Where were you?
I was in the girly store.
Okay, our locker's unlocked.
Okay.
It's down there, busting open.
Oh, dear.
All right, we're pulling all our stuff out of the locker. We've already got a bunch of stuff out. But Nicole is going to continue pulling stuff out of this magic locker.
We utilized every square inch of this 300 yen.
Yeah, it's pretty deep in there. I didn't even think we would get that bag in.
I thought otherwise.
You did.
I was like, it's going in. All of it.
All right, one more bag. That is the heavy groceries. Don't drop it. It's a lot of soy sauce,
And mayonnaise.
which won't break.
Oh boy. Success.
I'm gonna collect all these things up and get to the train station, and I think we're gonna need all 4 hands to do this and navigate, so you may not see us until we get back to the hotel. So we made it back. It wasn't too rough. The train was busy when we got on at Harajuku, but I think the next stop, enough people got off that I got to have a seat. Nicole actually got a seat from Harajuku, so I got to sit beside her and take the train the rest of the way to Shimbashi Station, which was a good 20 minutes. And then we dragged our stuff, well, carried our stuff from Shimbashi to the hotel, which was another like 10 minutes at least, I would say. And I just dropped all the stuff off up there, and Nicole's up there taking a shower. And I'm going to Family Mart to get a snack. I think I'm going to need a snack to get all this through all this packing. When we dropped all the bags down and looked at what we had collected and what we collected from Donk earlier, we were like, oh boy. So I'll be collecting our bags from reception on the way up from Family Mart, and the packing will begin. So I'll give you a view of their room once I get all the bags and stuff up there. It is it seems like a lot, but I think we'll make it work. We're back in the room. Our bags are back. All this stuff has to get packed in those 4 bags. This is the damage we did today. And Nicole's clothes. I have clothes in drawers in the cupboard. And keep going.
I'm not going into the luggage, am I?
No, we don't have room for you.
Do I have to stay behind?
No, you're coming home.
Oh, phew.
But before we get packing, it's time to have a snack.
I'm very creative. No, I'm just getting my usual, my jasmine tea and my Haagen-Dazs bar for the last time. So sad.
And I'm being a little bit more adventurous. I'm going to try this UFO instant noodle. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think it comes with mayo. A little mayo pack probably to squirt in there.
Is that what sold you?
This was the... no, this was the craziest looking instant noodle they had downstairs. And then a Sapporo, which I've never seen this one at home, so I'm going to keep drinking this one while I can. It's actually really good. I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. The sprinkly stuff didn't smell very good once that hit the hot noodles. But the combination with the mayo and the okonomiyaki, I'm forgetting how to say that word, sauce is really good. yeah, this is, I think, a winner. I think I bought one to pack to bring home, so I'm pretty happy about that. So we have to get going on this packing. So I'm going to down these noodles, and we were going to see what kind of dent we can put in all this packing we got to do. Right, we've been at it for almost an hour and a half here, and we got 2 bags packed and 2 bags unpacked, and we still have to pack 1 whole bag and bits and pieces of another bag, and it's looking kind of tight. It's not looking tight weight wise, it's just looking tight space wise. So it's still a disaster zone in here. But those, that black bag and that black bag are pretty much, they're done. So we gotta repack this bag and pack that bag. Gray beige bag. It's 1 o'clock and we're gonna go to bed. So hopefully this won't take too long in the morning. It looks pretty rough right now, but hopefully it comes together. So we'll see you tomorrow.